most people in our modern, sedentary, Western, industrialized, computerized world don't have the hip strength or flexibility or mobility to get down into a full squat, to get their knees, to get their hips down lower than their knees. So I'm going to show you actually today 10 prep exercises to get you down to a squat. Because the worst thing you could do if you can't do a squat, or let's say you do a squat and your knees hurt or your back rounds like that, the worst thing you could do is just do more squats because your form is not good enough to actually be able to pull off that motion. So I'm going to show you 10 exercises to ramp you up to that squat position. The first thing you want to do to kind of take some pressure out of it, to make it a little bit more doable for yourself, is to get yourself a wall and basically just do the same motion against the wall. So your feet are wide, your knees are going to track in line with your toes. So here's a good way to look at squatting. If your toes are straight ahead, your knees are straight ahead. If your toes are out, your knees are out. You don't want one of these happening. You know, toes are out, knees are in. See how bad that looks on the knees. So literally down here, and eventually your knees should be at your hip level, and you should be able to go even a little bit deeper and then be able to come back up. Now, as a prep, before you go up and down, you should be able to just hold this position. One thing you also want to be able to do, because the squat does have a lot of extension in the back. I don't know if you can see this, but my back is not on the wall, just my glutes. There's a lot of extension in the back. So my lower back is an extension, I'm leaning forward there, but then my upper back, I want to bring it up here. So this is an overhead wall squat. It's a really good, again, kind of prep to get you into the position where you can do a squat. So you got the wall to brace you. So that's overhead wall squat, and then there's just the wall squat. So both of these, so there's 2 exercises right there. Boom and boom. Now another one very similar to the wall squat that you may be familiar with is the wall sit or air bench, either one of those terms. So in this one, it's a little bit easier in that you have more of your spine on the wall, so your lower back is actually on the wall. You're focusing on quad strength here, keeping the weight back in the heels, pushing away with your legs. So this is a really great way to build up the quads to the point where you could then get here with that squat and then get off the wall and start squatting. Now that's all well and good if you're able to put load into your legs. Some of you, however, are thinking, yeah, but my knees are so messed up, I can't even do a wall sit or an air bench. How am I going to do that? How am I going to progress to a squat? So in your case, you're going to be on your back, 90-90 position, 90 degrees, and you're going to hang here. Literally, this is an exercise, just holding here. Engage your abs, press your lower back flat. You want, you don't want any like external, internal rotation. You want your ankles to be as high as your knees or slightly higher. What you don't want is down here. Try this, nothing's happening. Nothing's working right here. So right here, hold that. Another different exercise is that you can go into this and go back up. This is a knee extension. This is a great exercise. And notice I'm not moving my hip, I'm just moving my knee. This can prep you to the point where you can get into a squat later on. And as great as that exercise is, or those exercises here with the 2 legs, some of you may not even be able to get there, and that's totally fine. Remember, you want to meet where you are. You want to be at your appropriate level. So you do the same thing with one leg. You can go here. You can even go up and down. You can do the one-legged knee extension. These are all ways of getting the same patterning so that eventually you can get into a squat. Again, the squat is the most important general movement pattern that you can do because everyone's going to be picking stuff up off the floor. You just have to be able to do that. Now, that one-legged is too tough for some people even. In that case, you're going to use something like a pillow to put in between the knees. You're going to squeeze that pillow and you're going to release. And literally you're just engaging the inner thighs. You can do the same thing with the strap. Tie a strap around your knees, push out on the strap, and release. So I hope in this video I've shown you that you don't necessarily have to be able to do the squat if you're not able to. And with any exercise, if somebody tells you, you know what, this is the best exercise since sliced bread, They may be right, but it might not be the right exercise for you at this point in where you are. So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The key here is that you dissect it. You break it up into its little pieces. And let's run through this one more time. So you have the squat at the top. You have overhead wall squat, which is with the pole, with your butt against the wall. Then you have the wall squat and the air bench are both about the same level. If you can't do those, you have 90-90 wall. I didn't show that against the wall, but it's basically that 90-90 position that I showed you with your feet against the wall. So this is giving you the range of motion of a squat without having to actually load your legs. So this is the progression, getting you up to a squat. Each one of these little boxes right here, you could stay at that level for a month, for 2 months, and just practice that. Get really good at that particular position, and then move up to the next. Of course, you want to also do other ranges of motion, and make sure you have that balance as you go. Alright, so hopefully that gave you a general overview of how my mind works when I'm looking at somebody and they can't do a squat. That will help you get to the point where you can figure out where you need to be, and if a squat or any other compound, complicated exercise is causing pain, you have something to do to mitigate that pain. So what I'd like you to do is tell me anything I missed. What did I miss in this video? Or if you have another question about another exercise, the push-up, the pull-up, whatever it is, I'm going to try to get all those compound movements up on this channel and break those down for you so that you can find the level that's appropriate for you. Because that really is the #1 thing in achieving all your fitness goals without injuring yourself. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time.